Welcome back, everybody. We have our good friend, Chef Chris Kizer, here with us this morning, and we are staking it up for you this morning. You got some good stuff for us today.
I do.
Well, you always have good stuff for us, but
today especially.
These fillets, man.
I'm telling you, I managed to hit a heck of a deal on those.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be doing a steak crostini with a horseradish cream, and we do a little bit of arugula, a little fresh herbs, and a little bit of balsamic to top off.
Okay.
You know, like we've kind of talked about before in some of the other segments, we're coming up on holiday season where you're going to have either those parties that you're going to go to or you're going to have people over. And again, I'm all about being thrifty or being quick on the fly.
Absolutely.
So this is one of those meals that you can make 100% from scratch, or you can also, say you had steak the night before and you've got people coming over, you can use your leftover steaks that you've got to make something else and definitely make it feel like, of course, it would be in a wine dinner versus just something you kind of threw together last minute.
Right. And they'll never have to know it's leftovers.
Exactly.
All right, so what we got?
So in front of us today, I've got some bread that we've got just sliced. I sliced it about a half-inch thick. I personally like my bread to be a little softer when I do this.
Okay.
I know sometimes you'll get crostinis at restaurants and stuff, and they're super thin, which is technically how they should be, but to me, that hurts the roof of my mouth. So I like them to be a little thicker to then, make it a little more palatable.
Right.
So I've got those already kind of pre-sliced here. I've got some of our corn oil, and we're just going to lightly drizzle these with our corn oil before putting them in the oven.
Okay.
And at the same time that we put these in the oven, I'm also going to go ahead and take our 2 pieces of steak and pop them in there as well.
Yeah.
Just to go ahead and get some heat back on them. So that's basically going to go in the oven.
Okay.
Next time we see them will be in the next segment where they will be basically good to go, and we'll be slicing them, putting them on the thing. On the crostinis themselves. So next we're going to go ahead and make the horseradish cream. Typically, it's best to make this the night before because it has a little bit of time for that horseradish to kind of mellow out. But again, you can do this the morning before, the morning of, or even just right beforehand. And again, this is all done to your taste, much like most of the stuff we do on here.
Right.
I personally am not a huge fan of horseradish. However, again, with steak, it complements it pretty well. So I'm going to use about half this jar.
Okay.
And this is just one of the small containers of sour cream you can get from the store.
Okay.
We're going to mix those together to where you get basically a pretty uniform consistency. And you're basically going to see that horseradish disappear.
Yeah.
Okay, now from here, I picked up some lemons, and these are, I think, again, some of the biggest lemons you could have picked up.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Yeah.
Easy at-home trick to use on these if you don't have a squeezer is just take the back end of your tongs. Put your lemon as far in as you can. Just apply pressure on this end. And then it works all the same.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And of course I got one seed in here, so let me pull that out. Go right underneath.
Oh, yep.
And then again, we're just going to mix this all together. Just going to kind of thin out just a little bit. And then lastly, I'm going to throw a little bit of herbs in here. And this is going to be fresh parsley. I picked this one up again from the store. There's 2 different kinds of parsley when you're at the store.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize, well, they may realize that. But I typically will use different types of parsley depending on the variation that I'm using. So in this, where I want it to be pretty small and in the sauce, I like to get curly parsley. It's going to chop up a lot easier, a lot finer than your flat leaf parsley would. But if you're making more of a herb sauce like a tzatziki or something where you want more of the herbal taste, I like to use flat parsley. But you don't have to run your knife through curled parsley near as much. So just a rough chop on that. We'll go right into here. And then we're just going to mix those herbs in right there.
Wow.
So again, this is a super easy dish to make. And it's going to be super aromatic and flavorful.
Yeah, because you can smell it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can smell those notes, as they like to say in culinary vernacular.
Absolutely. It's very aromatic, that's for sure.
There you go. All right, when we come back, we'll do some TV magic. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with our good friend, Chef Chris Kizer, this morning, and he's got something really, really good for you. Steak crostini, right?
Crostini.
Crostini, okay.
So close.
Man, I cannot get right this morning. Okay, talk to us about what you got.
Okay, so I've already kind of plated one, as you kind of saw in the blurb before, just so kind of everyone can see what it's like. So we've got our crostinis here themselves, which again I lightly toasted. So again, you can basically gently poke your finger, and it's not going to break your tooth.
Right.
So we've got our horseradish cream that we made initially. We're just going to start off by putting a small layer on each one of these. You want to try to keep them, I mean, especially if you're trying to look present, like work on presentation,
right.
You want to try to keep as much of this on it versus on the sides. However, we're all human, even I, if you can see, even if you mess up, you can hide it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like this one here, I definitely just messed it up. And that's okay. All
now,
right.
now, with the horseradish, do you kind of have to be careful? Is it kind of one of those things that can easily overpower a dish?
Yes.
So you kind of have to be careful with it?
Definitely.
Okay.
And that's one of those things why I say that you definitely want to make sure to make the horseradish cream to your taste, because some people really like horseradish. Some people really don't care for it. I'm one of those people. But I also, it does complement beef really well.
Okay.
But again, if you dump the whole thing in there, you're gonna
taste
feel it at least through your nostrils. So very much like ginger.
Yeah.
So we've also got some arugula here, which we talked about off screen. Arugula is going to be a leafy green that's going to have a peppery taste to it. So not peppery as in like jalapeno pepper, but pepper as in black pepper, white pepper.
Yeah.
Definitely a mild hint of it. So it goes, again, really well when you get the subtleness of the sour cream. There's also the acidity from that lemon. So they should complement the steak itself very well. Now the steak I seared before I came, and we've talked before about how much I like cast iron pans.
Yeah.
Biggest reason is for steak when you're cooking it. As you can kind of see here on screen, you see how dark the actual crust is here? I was actually able to keep it at a relatively low temperature and produce a Maillard crust.
Yeah.
So what the Maillard effect is when you cook in a pan at the right temperature, you actually caramelize the natural fats that come out of the meat as soon as they're coming out versus burning them, and that's typically why it gets really smoky.
Right.
So what that does is it provides a really nice crust on the outside, but when we go and slice it, it's still going to be very nice on the inside. You're still going to get almost a rare consistency.
Yeah.
And so that's really why I like using cast irons. So for the crostinis, you're just going to slice them. I like to slice them in half again after this, just to help make it a little more palatable, so you're not trying to pull a piece of meat off of the whole crostini.
Now you say that's more of a rare cut right there?
Yes,
on the steak? Okay.
This is rare right here, but again, especially if you're using any kind of leftovers, you can do it to any temperature you want.
Right.
A lot of people I know don't like rare meat, but I'm definitely a fan of it when it comes to fillets specifically.
Okay.
If it was a New York strip or even a ribeye, I definitely would have done probably a mid-rare on the New York strip, almost a medium on the ribeye just because of the fat content. And then now that we've got this, you can just arrange them on your plate. And this one I found, if we just plate 4 of them, pick our nicer 4, we can stagger them. And then to finish the plate, we just have a little balsamic glaze that we picked up from United. I think we used this on one of the first segments we did.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that typically when you have it, you're going to have it for a while. So it's one of those easy things to keep on hand.
Man, that's like Food Network quality, man. Look at
And
that.
super easy. Again, nothing that's
Yeah.
super intimidating about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing. Cooking should be fun, enjoyable, and approachable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.